Hi guys, welcome to Vegyans. This is Vivek Saini. I'm here with yet another video, this time on equivalent rational numbers. Let's start. In our last video, we have studied that rational numbers do not have a unique representation in the form p by q. Let me write down this, then I'll explain this to you. Rational numbers does not have a unique representation in the form p by q. Now, here the word unique means being the only one of its kind. So the word here unique means being the only one of its kind. That means rational numbers do not have only one kind or one type of representation in the form p by q. Let's take an example. For example, if we have a number minus 25 and we want to write it in the form p by q, then not only we can write it as minus 25 by 1, we can also write it in many ways. For example, we can write minus 25 as minus 50 by 2, minus 75 by 3, minus 100 by 4, minus 125 by 5, etc. In fact, we can write minus 25 in the form of p by q in infinite number of ways. This is what is meant by rational numbers do not have a unique representation in the form p by q. That is, if we want to write minus 25 in the form of p by q, not only we can write it in only one way, we can write it in infinitely many number of ways or types. Now, all these representations of minus 25 in the form p by q, all these representations are known as equivalent rational numbers. Now, why we call them equivalent rational numbers? The word equivalent is made up of two words, eq and valent. Now, eq stands for equal. Now, valent stands for value. That means equivalent means having equal values. We call these all equivalent rational numbers because all these are having equal value. Now, why or how all of these are having equal value? Let's try to understand this. For example, if you look at minus 25 by 1, minus 25 by 1 means minus 25 divided by 1. Now, minus 25 divided by 1 we know is minus 25. Similarly, minus 50 by 2 means minus 50 divided by 2. Now, minus 50 divided by 2 we know is minus 25. Similarly, minus 75 divided by 3 is also minus 25. Minus 100 by 4 is minus 25, and minus 25 divided by 5 is also minus 25. Now we find out that all these numbers, or better we call all these rational numbers, are having equal value, that is minus 25. So that's why we call them equivalent rational numbers. Now a question arises, how to find equivalent rational numbers. Here I have written all the equivalent rational numbers for you, but one of you might ask, sir, what if we are given only one rational number like minus 25 by 1 out of this infinite equivalent rational numbers? If we are given only one rational numbers, how to find the rest of the equivalent rational numbers? For that, what we do is, for example, we have minus 25 by 1 and we want to find this remaining all equivalent rational numbers. Then what you need to do is, you need to multiply the numerator and denominator of minus 25 by 1 by the same number. We have to multiply the numerator minus 25 and the denominator 1 by the same number. For example, here in this case, let's multiply the numerator minus 25 and denominator 1 by 2. Let's see what do we get. Now, we know that 25 into 2, 5 2s are 10, 0, 1 carry, 2 2s are 4, 4 plus 1, 5. So 25 into 2 is 50. Now in multiplication, if we have opposite signs, for example here the sign with 25 is minus, that is a negative sign, and there is no sign with 2, that means there is a plus sign. So the sign with 25 is minus sign, that is negative sign, and sign with 2 is a plus sign, that is positive sign. So signs here are not the same, so we call them, they are having different signs or opposite signs. When in multiplications the signs are opposite, in our answer we put a negative sign. Now when we multiply two numbers, the answer we get is known as the product. So we can say that when we multiply two numbers and the numbers are having opposite signs, then the product will be negative. It will be having a minus sign or negative sign. Now 1 2s are 2. So what do we see here is, if we multiply the numerator minus 25 and denominator 1 by the same number 2, both by 2, we get minus 50 by 2. So we got minus 50 by 2. Similarly, if we multiply the numerator minus 25 and denominator 1 by 3, we know 25 into 3, 5 3s are 15, 5, 1 carry, 2 3s are 6, 6 plus 1, 7. What do we get is 75. Now in multiplication we have opposite signs, so we put here a negative sign. Now 1 3s are 3. So what do we get is minus 75 by 3. Now to find out next number, what we do is we multiply the numerator minus 25 and the denominator 1 by 4. So let's multiply. Now you know that 25 into 4, 5 fours are 20, 0, 2 carry, 2 fours are 8, 8 plus 2, 10. What do we get is 100. Now again the signs are opposite. So in the product we put a negative sign and 1 fours are 4. Similarly, you may get, as we got here minus 100 by 4, if you multiply the numerator minus 25 and denominator 1 by 5, if you multiply 25 by 5, you get 125, and since the signs are opposite, we get a negative sign. 1 5s are 5. Now you got minus 125 by 5. So this is how we find out equivalent rational numbers. Let's take one more example so that it is more clear to you. This time let's take the rational number 1 by 2. Now 1 by 2 is a rational number because it is written in the form p by q, where p, that is 1, q, both are integers. You see both 1 and 2 in the list of integers. So p and q both are integers, and q, that is this number 2 which is written downside, it is not equals to 0. So this number 1 by 2 is written in the form p by q, where p and q both are integers and q is not equals to 0. So 1 by 2 is a rational number. So now we want to find out equivalent rational numbers to 1 by 2. For that, what we do is we multiply the numerator 1 and denominator 2 by the same number 2. We get 1 2s are 2, 2 2s are 4. So what we get is 2 by 4. Now similarly, let's multiply the numerator 1 and denominator 2 by the same number 3. Now 1 3 is 3, 2 3s are 6. So what we get is 1 by 2, equivalent rational to 1 by 2 as 2 by 4, 3 by 6. Since these are equivalent rational numbers, and equivalent rational numbers means having equal values, we put an equals to sign between them. Now similarly, if you multiply the numerator 1 and denominator 2 by the same number 4, you get 1 4s are 4, 2 4s are 8. So next equivalent rational number you find is 4 by 8. Similarly, you can multiply the numerator and denominator by 5 also. 1 5 is 5, 2 5s are 10. So in this way, if you keep on multiplying, you can find infinite equivalent rational numbers to 1 by 2. In fact, next you can multiply the numerator 1 and denominator 2 by 6. Or you can multiply the numerator 1 and denominator 2 by any number. It's not like that you can have to multiply in sequence. You can multiply the numerator and 1 and denominator 2 by any number. For example, if I multiply both by 49, I get 1 into 49, 49, 2 into 49, 9 twos are 18, 1 carry, 4 twos are 8, 8 plus 1, 9. We get 98. So next you'll get is 49 by 98. In this way you can find out infinite number of equivalent rational numbers to 1 by 2. Now let me write down all these equivalent rational numbers here. So what you get is 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4 is equal to 3 by 6 is equal to 4 by 8 is equal to 5 by 8 is equal to 49 by 98, and so on. In this way you can find out infinite number of equivalent rational numbers to 1 by 2. Now one thing to notice over here is that out of this infinite equivalent rational numbers, we call 1 by 2 as the simplest form of all these remaining equivalent rational numbers. Let me repeat it. We call 1 by 2 as the simplest form of all the remaining equivalent rational numbers. That is, 1 by 2 is the simplest form of 2 by 4. 1 by 2 is the simplest form of 3 by 6. 1 by 2 is the simplest form of 4 by 8, and so on. Now why we call 1 by 2 the simplest form of all these remaining equivalent rational numbers? Why don't we call other equivalent rational numbers as the simplest form? For example, why don't we call 2 by 4 as the simplest form? This is the topic of our next video. Now, your task is to find out five equivalent rational numbers for each of the following. I'll write those here. First one is 3 by 7. Second one is minus 2 by 5. Third one is 11 by 13. It's your task to find out 5 equivalent rational numbers for all these rational numbers. Remember, you can find out equivalent rational numbers by multiplying the numerator and denominator by the same number. If you like this video, please press the like button, and if you have any questions or any doubts regarding this topic of equivalent rational numbers, or how to find the equivalent rational numbers, or any other topic, you can mention that in comment box. Also, whatever answers you get for this topic or for this question, please do mention your answers in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get the notifications. Please share this video with your friends and classmates. This was Vivek Saini and you were watching Vgyans. Thank you.